Just any of those formalities that feel outdated to you or that don't feel like you guys as a couple, I say don't do them. Who needs it, you know?
Hi, I'm John from PGP Wedding Films, and welcome to Say Yes to the Best, where we talk to the best wedding pros to give you wedding planning advice. Subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram. We have new content out all the time to help you with your wedding planning. Also, go follow our friends at Pennsylvania Weddings. We're partnering with them to bring you some live Q&As with our guests so you can follow up and get all of your specific wedding planning questions answered. So go follow them on Facebook. Pennsylvania Weddings is a great resource if you are planning a wedding anywhere in the state of Pennsylvania. They have so much great content, so go check them out. So today we're going to be talking all about wedding traditions, both the best and the worst. So in the comments below, let us know what your favorite wedding traditions are, what your least favorite wedding traditions are, what are things you did at your wedding or you're going to do at your wedding, and let everybody know what you think. I definitely think it's safe to say that there was a consensus pick for least favorite wedding tradition. So let's hear what our pros had to say.
I don't like the garter toss. I'd like to see that go away. Yes. We don't get a lot of this at PAFA, but I would be happy to say goodbye to any kind of garter or game situation. Luckily, I think that's already on its way out. I see it very rarely.
One that has disappeared, luckily, that I haven't seen at weddings in years is the garter belt thing.
That's what I was going to say, the garter.
Yeah.
I think, especially, if a groom wants to go up his bride's dress, hey, that is their prerogative. But the putting on of the garter to the poor catcher of the bouquet, oh my gosh, it's always so uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, I'm totally fine if the garter toss is never done again. That's not going to offend me. We're definitely a simplified. We definitely like things to be pretty simple as far as vendors go, but at the same time, we're open to helping people to do things that they might not normally do. To add it in there, if there's something that their family does, we do get a lot of that where families have their own specific thing that they do, and we're open to all of it. But I would say that one in particular, garter toss, if that leaves weddings forever, I'd be very happy.
So I think you definitely heard a pretty strong consensus, as well as from me, that the garter toss might be something you want to reconsider. But you also heard Pat and Sean Kelly talk a little bit about, you always want to honor what your traditions are, what you like, and I think that's important. If this is something that every person in your family has done at their wedding and you've all enjoyed it and you talk about it for years to come, yeah, I think it's probably the right fit for you. And we had a couple of guests who, when I asked them what their least favorite wedding tradition was, they didn't really want to say, because they acknowledged that everyone has their own unique traditions, and if there's something you want to do, you need to embrace it.
I've seen a lot of them actually, people aren't doing as much anymore. They're not doing the garter or the bouquet, or they're not even announcing the cake cutting, and I am here for all of that. I think it just allows you more freedom to enjoy your reception. So just any of those formalities that feel outdated to you or that don't feel like you guys as a couple, I say don't do them. Who needs it,
I suppose it's hard to say, because I do feel like these days it's kind of like couples are doing whatever feels right to them. And I feel like, generally speaking, couples are kind of stepping outside of the traditional box. For instance, I'm seeing a lot of couples, somebody close to them is marrying them. And I think that's really awesome, to have somebody that's close to you, who knows you as a couple, to marry you. And so I guess I have a hard time answering that specifically, because I do feel like, these days people really are doing what feels right to them. And so if something specific just doesn't really, doesn't resonate with them to be right as a couple, they're not doing it. And I honestly, I think that that's the right thing to do. So I can't say that I personally have anything I'd like to see go away. No. enjoy it all.
So we also touched on everyone's favorite wedding traditions, and these are moments throughout the day that are really special. And, you know, I've always been a proponent of, on a wedding day, it's the things that are unique to you that really make the day something that you and your friends and family are going to talk about. Everyone walks down the aisle, everyone has a first kiss, everyone has a first dance, and while those moments are really special, they're not always as unique as a special tradition that you're doing. So these are just some of the ideas and the things that really resonate with some of our guests, people who are involved with weddings or go to weddings all the time.
I think you should create your own wedding tradition. I don't especially love all of the traditions. Maybe the dollar dance, because that could be fun.
I think mine, for weddings that we're performing at, it would be the first dance, because it's really special just to play an intimate song that the couple really wants to hear an acoustic version of. For weddings that we attend, all of my friends, we always pick up the groom and carry him around the room and dance, and it's fun. Yeah,
that's a good tradition. I think as annoying as it is, I think I like the clinking of glasses to kiss. It's just such a joyful sound, and you know the couple's like, oh gosh.
I love the cake. I love it. Like, that's my favorite part of the wedding.
Every single wedding that I go to, she says, if you can take flowers, but if you can take cake, take some cake.
Yeah. I mean, we are a multicultural family, so weddings are different, and there are different wedding traditions. So, we could mention a few.
Yeah.
You know.
What comes up for you?
We have several line dances that are like a must. I don't like line dances, but those ones, they need to be there.
Yeah. I think my favorite wedding tradition is a really dramatic entrance for the bride. I don't know if that's really a tradition, but I just think that's kind of, the ceremony is my very favorite part of every wedding. I know sometimes people want it to be about the party, but for me, like, actually saying the vows is the most, like, should get the most priority.
Ooh, I am a sucker for the special dances, so the mother-son and the father-daughter, and then sometimes the speeches just really get me, especially the best man speech. The maid of honors are always, they nail it every time, but sometimes there's just a best man who really hits the nail on the head and makes me cry in a corner, so.
I'm kind of a sucker for that moment when dad sees the bride. And that's probably very personal for me. I've always had a close relationship with my dad. And so, if I happen to be around for something like that, it always gets me. And certainly those are the photos I pick up on. But truly, your wedding day is just so full of so many amazing moments and time shared with special people. It's kind of hard to pick.
So as you can see, there are so many special moments throughout the wedding day, and what I think you need to do as you're planning out your day is kind of understanding your own personalities and what is important and what will bring you great memories, whether it's a first look or a father-daughter first look or whatever else it may be. For me, one tradition that I really like is the letter reading and gift exchange that couples do ahead of the wedding. One, it obviously gives me, making your wedding film, a lot of really amazing content, but I just think it's really special. I do love that moment before the couple sees each other, because I think there's the nerves and the anticipation that is really special, and I remember that for my own wedding, the kind of nerves and anticipation of seeing my wife come down the aisle. And I think when you do those letter readings, obviously you kind of get a feeling of what they're thinking about the day, but I think the gift in particular provides a little bit of thought of what will make this person happy, my person happy on the day of our wedding, and I think that's usually can be a really beautiful moment. So that's probably for me my favorite tradition. So let me know what your favorite tradition is in the comments below. I'd love to hear what traditions you're doing or did at your wedding, and what you think are the best traditions you've seen at weddings, or even the worst. Thank you again for watching Say Yes to the Best. As I said at the top, please subscribe and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We have new content out all the time to help you. Go follow our friends at Pennsylvania Weddings, and we're going to be doing a live Q&A on Thursday talking about all things weddings. So thank you again, and happy planning.